1953. A kitchen in a white frame house outside of Dayton, Ohio. 6 o'clock in the evening. A woman sets a plate on the table 9 inches across. The kitchen light clicks off at 6:45. Nobody eats again until morning. That woman weighed 118 pounds. She weighed 118 pounds the year she got married and 118 pounds the year her daughter left for college. She never counted a calorie. She never joined a gym. She did not think about her weight because she did not have to. In 1950, the average American woman weighed 140 pounds. Today, that number is 170 pounds. 30 pounds in 2 generations. These are 18 slim tricks from the past that worked and are now marketed as exclusive secrets that some experts charge a fortune for. Number 18. The bandage wrap. In 1952, women paid to be wrapped from ankle to shoulder in dampened muslin bandages and told to lie still for an hour. It was called a figure wrap. The bandages were soaked in mineral salts and warm water. The smell was clean and slightly medicinal. A session at a Chicago salon cost $3.50 in 1954. The compression pulled water from subcutaneous tissue. A woman could lose 2 to 4 inches off her waist in a single visit. Today, that same treatment is sold at medical spas as body contouring for $150 a session. The bandages are the same. The price is 43 times higher. She did not call it a spa treatment. She called it her Tuesday appointment. Number 17. AIDS appetite suppressant candy. In 1958, a small cardboard box printed in pale blue and cream sat on drugstore counters across America. Inside were pieces of what looked like caramel fudge. The box was called AIDS. It cost $2.49 at the pharmacy, 1 or 2 pieces with a hot beverage 15 minutes before each meal. The warmth activated benzocaine, a mild anesthetic that numbed the mouth and dulled the appetite. Chewy, sweet, faintly vanilla. Women ate it at the kitchen table like a treat, not a treatment. Today, that same mechanism is sold as 4 separate supplements at $25 each. Nobody mentions the hot tea. The box did, and the box cost $2. Number 16. The 9-inch plate. The standard American dinner plate in 1953 measured 9 inches across. A 9-inch plate filled completely holds roughly 800 calories. Today, the standard plate runs 11 to 12 inches across, and when filled the same way holds close to 1,900 calories, more than double. Psychologists call it the Delboeuf illusion. A portion on a small plate looks generous. The brain registers fullness before the fork is picked up. The same portion on a 12-inch plate looks unfinished, and the hand reaches for the serving spoon without a second thought. She did not need a portion scale. She needed a 9-inch plate. She already had one. Number 15. The hamburger patty, cottage cheese, and peach plate. This was a standard lunch in American women's magazines from 1951 through 1962. A single broiled hamburger patty, a half cup of cottage cheese, 1 canned peach half. It appeared in Ladies' Home Journal and McCall's every January and every June. Protein suppressed hunger for 4 to 5 hours. The peach provided sweetness without spiking insulin. Total calories approximately 350. Preparation time was 8 minutes. Her lunch cost 40 cents. The nutrition science has not changed. Only the packaging has. Number 14. Dinner before 6. In 1953, dinner was at 6 o'clock, not 6:30. 6. The table was set. By 6:45, the dishes were in the sink and the kitchen was closed. After dinner, nobody ate again until morning. No late-night trips to the refrigerator. Food had its place. Its place was at the table during designated hours. What those women were doing without knowing, it was creating a natural fasting window of 13 to 14 hours every single night. Modern intermittent fasting programs charge $40 a month to teach this. She taught it with a single sentence: "The kitchen is closed." In the 1950s, the American breakfast was 2 eggs, 1 slice of toast, and a cup of coffee, or oatmeal cooked on the stove with a small pat of butter. The portion was fixed. The ingredients were real. Kellogg's Corn Flakes cost 23 cents for a 12-ounce box in 1953. The same breakfast every morning. The routine was the discipline. Today, the average American breakfast contains 23% more calories than it did in 1965, according to United States Department of Agriculture data. She did not optimize her breakfast. She repeated it. Repetition was the diet plan. Walk into any reducing salon in 1955 and you would find it in the corner. A wide canvas belt attached to a motor. A woman looped it around her hips, turned it on, and stood there for 15 minutes reading a magazine. The Relaxicizer sold for $200 in 1952. Reducing salons charged $2 per session. The promise? Passive vibration breaks down fat tissue. Here is what the companies knew and did not say. Passive vibration does not break down fat tissue. The muscles contract slightly. Water is temporarily displaced. A woman feels like something happened. Nothing happened. The FDA began seizure actions in 1970 after 40,000 adverse event reports. The machines were banned. Today it is called EMS body sculpting at $200 per session. The promise is identical. The result is the same. Notice what separates number 12 from everything around it. The 9-inch plate worked because it was honest. The early dinner worked because it was honest. Each trick asked something real and returned something real. The vibrating belt asked nothing and returned nothing. The industry has always known the difference. It built the machine anyway. Number 11. No liquid calories. In 1953, a woman drank water, coffee, and tea. A 6.5-ounce bottle of Coca-Cola cost a nickel, and it was a treat, not a habit. The average American consumed 11 gallons of soft drinks per year in 1950. By 2000, that number had climbed to 53 gallons. That meant 42 additional gallons of liquid sugar entering the average American body each year, not from one decision, but from 1,000 small ones made so gradually nobody noticed. She drank water from the kitchen tap. It cost nothing. It contained nothing. That was the point. Number 10. The daily walk. A woman in the 1950s walked to the corner grocery. She walked to the post office. Not to exercise. It was how you got there. The average American woman in 1953 walked 3 to 4 miles per day, simply by living her life. Research from the American Journal of Public Health found that Americans walk 40% fewer steps per day than they did 50 years ago. That reduction accounts for approximately 150 calories per day. That is 15 pounds a year. She did not take a walk. She lived in a way that required it. Number 9. Housework as the gym. In 1965, the average American woman spent 26 hours per week doing housework. Floors were scrubbed on hands and knees. Wet sheets were hauled to the backyard line. Rugs were beaten on the back porch. Ironing on Tuesday, every Tuesday. Researchers at the University of South Carolina calculated that this labor burned approximately 850 calories per day, the caloric equivalent of running 5 miles daily without thinking of it as exercise. By 2010, weekly housework hours had dropped to 13. Daily calorie burn fell by 200 calories, which amounts to 20 pounds a year. She did not go to the gym. She mopped the floor. The result was the same. Number 8. The girdle as daily feedback. Every morning, a woman in the 1950s put on a girdle. Thin women wore them, and heavy women wore them. The Playtex Living Girdle sold in a slim cardboard tube for $3.95 in 1954. It used elastic and rubber from the waist to mid-thigh, the snap of it against the hip. The girdle was not punishment, it was information. A woman who had eaten too much the previous week felt it immediately. The waistband was honest in a way that elastic waist pants are not. She did not need a scale. She needed to get dressed. The feedback was instant, daily, and impossible to ignore. Number 7. A small portion of dessert instead of none. A 1950s woman did not skip dessert. She had a small piece, a 2-inch square of pound cake, a single scoop of vanilla ice cream eaten with a teaspoon. Seal-test vanilla cost 39 cents for a half gallon in 1955. The sugar craving was addressed, and the ritual of completion was satisfied. Research in the journal Appetite in 2013 found that small daily portions of a preferred food reduced total weekly consumption compared to complete abstinence. One piece of pie was always better than no pie for 3 weeks, followed by the whole pie on a Sunday afternoon. A woman in 1953 kept a bottle of Heinz apple cider vinegar on the kitchen counter. Before the larger meals of the day, she poured a tablespoon into a small glass of water and drank it. Heinz cost 23 cents for a quart in 1952. The sharp smell, the slight burn at the back of the throat. A study in the Journal of Functional Foods in 2018 found that 2 tablespoons before a meal reduced post-meal blood glucose by 34% and significantly reduced the amount eaten. Nobody could patent vinegar. That was the problem. Apple cider vinegar capsules now sell for $22 a bottle. She paid 23 cents and used the rest for salad dressing. A woman in the 1950s went to bed at 9:30, cold cream applied. Pin curl set under a silk scarf. Room dark, light out. In 1955, the average American adult slept 8 hours and 15 minutes per night. Today that number is 6 hours and 30 minutes. Sleep deprivation increases ghrelin, the hunger hormone, and decreases leptin, the fullness hormone. A woman who sleeps 6 hours consistently eats an average of 385 more calories per day than a woman who sleeps 8, according to Mayo Clinic research from 2022. She went to bed at 9:30 because the day was done. No product required. Only the discipline to turn out the light. Number 4. The weekly weigh-in. Every Monday morning, before breakfast, a woman stepped on the bathroom scale. Once, she noted the number, then she stepped off. The Taylor mechanical bathroom scale sold at Sears for $4.95 in 1954. It was used once a week, never more. Research from the International Journal of Obesity found that weekly self-monitoring is significantly more effective than daily weighing, because daily fluctuations create anxiety and irrational eating responses. She did not weigh herself daily because she did not have the time. She had breakfast to make. The weekly number told her everything she needed to know. In 1953, a woman ate what was in season because there was nothing else. Strawberries in June, corn in August, apples in October. At the A&P, June strawberries cost 19 cents a quart. In December, apples cost 10 cents a pound. Summer produce is high in water and fiber and lower in calories per volume. The body received different inputs at different times of year and responded accordingly. She did not plan a seasonal eating protocol. She bought what was on the produce table. Today, everything is available always. The body no longer receives the signal. It just receives food. Number 2, home-cooked food as the default. In 1955, 95% of American dinners were cooked at home, not assembled, cooked. A woman stood at the stove for 45 minutes most evenings. Cooking burned approximately 75 calories per hour of active kitchen work, and effort created its own portion control. Nobody was going to spend 45 minutes making mashed potatoes and then make a second batch. The labor was its own break. In 2023, Americans spent $1.3 trillion on food away from home. A fast food hamburger patty that weighed 1.5 ounces in 1960 now weighs 6 ounces or more. She did not cook dinner as a health strategy. She cooked dinner because that was dinner. Number 1. She simply did not think about her weight. This is the one nobody can sell. A woman in 1953 did not think about her weight. Not because she was lucky, because the structure of her day managed it for her, invisibly, without requiring her attention. She ate at 6 and stopped. She walked to the store. She cooked her own food. She slept 8 hours. She wore a girdle that told her the truth every morning. The system held the line, so she did not have to. The diet industry's greatest achievement was not the protein shake or the fitness app. It was convincing women that managing their bodies required constant conscious attention, that without tracking and professional guidance, a woman could not be trusted to maintain her own weight. She did not need guidance. She needed the structure, and the structure was taken from her piece by piece until the woman who had never thought about her weight was thinking about it constantly and still losing ground. That was not progress. That was a transaction. 18 tricks. Not one required a gym membership, a nutrition coach, or a subscription. They required a 9-inch plate, a kitchen that closed at night, and the understanding that a body managed by structure does not need to be managed by attention. The average American woman today spends $112 per month on diet and weight management. Her grandmother spent nothing. Her grandmother weighed 30 pounds less. The difference was never willpower. It was structure. Simple, invisible, daily structure that nobody had to think about because nobody had yet been told it was not enough. Somewhere right now, a grandmother is setting a plate on the table, 9 inches across. The kitchen light clicks off at 6:45. She does not explain why. The granddaughter sitting at that table is watching. And without a word, the lesson begins again. If you want more forgotten wisdom from the generations who came before us, the next video is waiting for you right now.